Today is July 31st. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we are going to continue our journey through Chapter 2, There's a Solution, by reading page 21. And out of the 12 and 12, we're going to continue Step 4 by reading the second half of page 48. And of course, today we're going to read the July 31st entries of the daily reflections in 24 hours a day. So with that, I hope y'all are doing well this morning. We have been given another day, brand new set of 24 hours, and we're wrapping up another month. It's just a blessing to be alive today. A sincere blessing when I say that, and to be sober, that's exponentially better. And if you're listening to this and you're early in sobriety, and you're clinging, just know that it gets better and that there is hope. And just keep fighting for it. Not for the next couple of weeks or anything like that. For the next couple of hours, maybe the next couple of minutes. Break it down into small, manageable chunks. And get the support that you need. Thankfully, you don't have to do this alone. It's just one day at a time, one moment at a time. And with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, if you recall from yesterday's reading in the Big Book, we were talking about heavy drinkers and moderate drinkers, what they're like. And now we're going to talk a little bit more about the alcoholic. And this is on page 21. But what about the real alcoholic? He may start off as a moderate drinker. He may or may not become a continuous hard drinker. But at some stage of his drinking career, he begins to lose all control of his liquor consumption once he starts to drink. Here is the fellow who has been puzzling you, especially in his lack of control. He does absurd, incredible, tragic things while drinking. He is a real Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's seldom mildly intoxicated. He's always more or less insanely drunk. His disposition while drinking resembles his normal nature but little. He may be one of the finest fellows in the world. Yet let him drink for a day, and he frequently becomes a disgustingly and even dangerously antisocial. He has a positive genius for getting tight at exactly the wrong moment, particularly when some important decision must be made or an engagement kept. He's often perfectly sensible and well-balanced concerning everything except liquor. But in that respect, he is incredibly dishonest and selfish. He often possesses special abilities, skills, and aptitudes, and has a promising career ahead of him. He uses his gifts to build up a bright outlook for his family and himself, and then pulls the structure down on his head by a senseless series of sprees. He is the fellow who goes to bed so intoxicated that he ought to sleep the clock around. Yet early the next morning, he searches madly for the bottle that he misplaced the night before. If he can afford it, he may have liquor concealed all over his house to be certain that no one gets his entire supply away from him to throw down the wastepipe. As matters grow worse, he begins to use a combination of high-powered sedative and liquor to quiet his nerves so that he can go to work. Then comes the day when he simply cannot make it and gets drunk all over again. Perhaps he goes to a doctor who gives him morphine or some sedative which to taper off. Then he begins to appear at hospitals and sanitariums. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Bottom of page 48. Now let's ponder the need for a list of the more glaring personality defects that all of us have in varying degrees. To those having religious training, such a list would set forth serious violations of moral principles. Some others will think of this list as defects of character, and still others will call it an index of maladjustments. Some will become quite annoyed if there is talk about immorality, let alone sin. But all who are in the least responsible will agree upon one point. That there is plenty wrong with us alcoholics about which plenty will have to be done if we are to expect sobriety, progress, and any real ability to cope with life. To avoid falling into confusion over the names of these defects and what they should be called, let's take a universally recognized list of major human failings. The 7 deadly sins of pride, greed, lust, anger, gluttony, envy, and sloth. It is not by accident that pride heads the procession. For pride, leading to self-justification and always spurred by conscious or unconscious fears, is the basic breeder of the most human difficulties, the chief block of true progress. Pride lures us into making demands upon ourselves or upon others which cannot be met without perverting or misusing our God-given instincts. When the satisfaction of our instincts for sex, security, and society becomes the sole object of our lives, then pride steps in to justify our excesses. Daily Reflection, July 31st. A prayer for all seasons. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 125. The power of this prayer is overwhelming in that its simple beauty parallels the AA fellowship. There are times when I get stuck while reciting it, but if I examine the section which is troubling me, I find the answer to my problem. The first time this happened, I was scared, but now I use it as a valuable tool. By accepting life as it is, I gain serenity. By taking action, I gain courage, and I thank God for the ability to distinguish between those situations that I can work on and those that I must turn over. All that I have now is a gift from God. My life, my usefulness, and my contentment end this program. The serenity enables me to continue walking forward. Alcoholics Anonymous is the easier, softer way. 24 hours a day, July 31st. AA Thought for the Day. This leaves only one day. Today. Anyone can fight the battles of just one day. It is only when you and I add the burden of those two awful eternities, yesterday and tomorrow, that we break down. It is not the experience of today that drives us mad. It is the remorse or bitterness for something which happened yesterday, or the dread of what tomorrow may bring. Let us therefore do our best to live but one day at a time. Am I living one day at a time? Meditation for the day. Give God the gift of a thankful heart. Try to see causes for thankfulness in your everyday life. When life seems hard and troubles crowd, then look for some reasons for thankfulness. There's nearly always something that you can be thankful for. The offering of thanksgiving is indeed a sweet incense going up to God throughout the busy day. Seek diligently for something to be glad and thankful about. You will acquire in time the habit of being constantly grateful to God for all of His blessings. Each new day, some new cause for joy and gratitude will spring into your mind, and you'll thank God sincerely. Prayer for the day. I pray for a truly thankful heart. I pray that I may be constantly reminded of causes for sincere gratitude. Okay, so that concludes today's reading. Real quick, this last reading has helped me so much in my sobriety. If I'm having a really stressful day, and I work with a lot of people throughout the day, and sometimes it can be hard to deal with disrespect or whatever it might be that's hurting me. What I try to do is, in those moments, when I can get a little quiet time, maybe it's go to the restroom, or maybe it's walking down the hallway, or maybe it's going outside during lunch and being alone outdoors. I kind of go through my mental gratitude checklist, Yeah, I was disrespected today, or yeah, this happened today, or I didn't respond the right way today. But I'm alive. I'm sober today. I mean, you could stop right there, but I could keep going. I have a beautiful family that's healthy and safe today. I still have my health. And I just keep going down the list. But before long, I realize, is this really worth getting so upset over? Look how good I have it. Look at these blessings. So I've been doing this for a few 24 hours now, and that becomes kind of my automatic response, my fight towards stress is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the greatest things that I've gained through this program, and I am so grateful for this reading because it's a great reminder. When something's bothering us, one great remedy is gratitude. Yeah, but what's going right in your life? What are the good things? And if you can't think of anything, if you're sober today, that's a major one. And if you're not, you're still here. You can be sober. It can happen. There's that possibility because you are alive. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I won't bore you with that. But I'm just grateful that you're here today. And truly, I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA or Al-Anon or any other sect, denomination. I'm just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery, and I'm grateful that you're here with me. We're given another set of 24 hours. I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.